All right, so today we're gonna do something a little bit different,
Okay.
um, and dive into a bit of a different source material for this deep dive.
Interesting.
And we are going to be talking about Beneath the Moonlight,
Okay.
which is a romance novel.
Interesting.
Now, I know what you might be thinking.
Yeah.
A romance novel for a deep dive.
Right.
But this is a romance novel that is set in the post-war wizarding world.
Okay. Got
We are returning to that world that we all know and love,
Right.
but it's going to explore it in a really unique way.
Okay.
So we're talking about societal divisions,
Hmm.
personal choice,
Mm-hmm.
the power of love
Okay.
in a world that is rebuilding after conflict.
Interesting.
And also,
Yeah.
this romance novel features a pair
Yeah.
that you would not expect.
Oh, okay.
Narcissa Malfoy and Remus Lupin.
Wow. That's an interesting combination.
Yeah.
For sure. So
Oh.
it's taking this world that we're familiar with and kind of twisting it a little bit, giving us a new perspective.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
I love it when a story can take a familiar setting like that
Yeah,
and then show you something completely different about it.
exactly. Yeah. And it uses the genre that's known for escapism, romance to look at some heavier issues.
Right.
Like it makes you think about
Yeah.
love and relationships, and how
Mhm.
that functions within a society that is still grappling with like the scars of war and with prejudice and things like that.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
that first encounter
Yeah.
in the Black Family Library,
Right.
that really struck me.
Yes.
Like, that's not just any old room, is it?
No, it's definitely not. It's like overflowing with symbolism.
Yeah.
You've got Narcissa, who's, surrounded by like generations of pureblood tradition and secrets,
Right.
maybe even some darkness,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have Remus, who, represents everything that her world has taught her to fear and reject.
Right. Yeah.
So it really sets the stage for like this clash of ideologies and desires.
Yeah. And yet, here's Narcissa inviting him to stay.
Yes.
And I kept wondering, like, what is it about her life, this
Yeah.
privileged life,
Yeah.
that might be missing?
Yeah. Right.
Is this a subconscious yearning for something,
Right.
something more,
Exactly.
something that she can't even articulate?
Yeah, it's intriguing, right?
Yeah.
And there's what line I remember in chapter 1 where she thinks to herself, like, my life has been a tapestry woven by others. It suggests a lack of agency,
Right.
this feeling of being trapped by expectations.
Yeah.
And so maybe Remus, with his outsider status,
Yeah.
represents a freedom that she craves.
Yeah. And I love how their conversations
Yeah.
evolve over time.
Yeah.
So by chapter 2,
Yeah.
we have them meeting under the moonlight
Okay.
and sharing these really deeply personal confessions.
Right.
Yeah.
It's I think that the moonlight motif is so clever.
Right.
It's like it highlights the secrecy and vulnerability of their connection.
Yeah.
It's as if they can only truly be themselves under the cover of darkness.
Yeah. It's like they find
Yeah.
solace in each other's
Yeah.
like otherness.
Exactly.
Yeah. Remus talks about feeling like an outsider.
Yeah.
And I was struck by how Narcissa,
Yeah.
despite her wealth and status,
Yeah.
echoes that sentiment.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah. There's a powerful line where they say, or she says, maybe I'm not the only one who doesn't belong.
Right.
Yeah. It's this moment of recognition.
Yeah.
Of shared alienation. They both feel trapped by their circumstances, even if those circumstances are vastly different.
But their connection is forbidden.
Yes,
I mean,
of course.
a pure blood aristocrat
Right.
and a werewolf.
It seems impossible.
It seems impossible.
Right.
And
this is where I think the author really skillfully weaves in these themes of duty versus desire.
Yeah.
Because especially in a society that is rebuilding after a war,
Right.
where lines are blurred,
Yeah.
loyalties are questioned.
Yeah.
Narcissa and Remus, they're forced to confront not only their feelings for each other,
Right.
but also their allegiances to their respective worlds.
Right. And then chapter 3
Yeah.
just explodes with tension.
Yes.
Yes. So Narcissa's on the balcony,
Right.
exposed yet hidden,
Right.
torn between her feelings for Remus
Yeah.
and the expectations of her family.
Exactly. And Remus makes a decision.
Yes.
He makes a choice for himself.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he defies expectations.
Yeah.
Not just for Narcissa, but also for himself.
It's such a small act,
Yeah.
but it feels so monumental,
It does.
you know?
Yeah.
And it makes you think about the power of individual choice,
Right.
especially in a world that is
Yeah.
that's trying to dictate
Yes.
what's right and wrong.
Exactly. And for Narcissa, it's a moment of rebellion, however fleeting it may be.
Yeah.
She chooses to meet him.
Yeah.
She chooses to escape the, the weight of duty and expectation,
Right.
even for just a little while.
Yeah.
And we see this glimpse of who she could be
Yeah.
if she dared to break free.
Yeah, so we've got forbidden love,
Right.
societal barriers,
Yeah.
the courage to choose oneself.
Mhm.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is. It is. But I think that's the beauty of this novel.
Yeah.
It takes this familiar setting
Right.
and uses it to explore some really universal themes.
Yeah.
It asks the question, can love really bridge the divides that magic and prejudice have created
Right.
in this world? Can it heal the wounds of the past?
Yeah.
Can it bring people together who, society says shouldn't be together?
And honestly, those are questions that resonate
Totally.
far beyond
Yes.
the pages of this book.
Absolutely.
It makes you think about the divisions in our own world
Yeah.
and whether love, understanding empathy can truly conquer them.
Can we overcome these things?
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Is it possible?
Yeah.
Or-
Something to think about.
It is something to think
I mean, for
about.
sure.
That's
Yeah.
for sure.